Welcome Battle Brothers, this is Subhuman bringing you an introduction to the early access game Warhammer 40,000 Regicide by Hammer 4. This game is in early access and so not all features are available, but the online multiplayer game works and so does skirmish mode, which is versus AI. That's what we're going to be playing today. Regicide is based on the classic game chess. It has the same initial piece setup and the pieces make the same capture moves. In classic mode you can play versus the AI at a regular chess game with nifty capture animations, lots of exploding gibs and that sort of thing. Jolly good fun. Regicide, however, adds an additional twist to the game in the form of an initiative phase taken after your regular chess move. This phase adds a random element to the game and in my opinion makes it a lot more fun. You're never sure quite what's going to happen in the game of Regicide, and that I enjoy. As the game stands at the moment, there are two different classes you can choose between, the Space Marines or the Orcs, and you can choose whether you play against the Orcs or the Space Marines. To give you a look at both, I'm going to be playing as the Orcs and have my opponents be the Space Marines. Now, the pieces are standard chess pieces, but they've been swapped out with in character variations. So the pawn is now a shooter boy, our knights are storm boys, bishops are looters, castles or rooks are meganobs, our queens are weird boys, and our kings are war bosses. On the Space Marine side, the pawns are tactical marines, our knights are assault marines, devastator marines take the place of our bishops, our rooks or castles are terminators, the queen is a librarian, and the king is of course a space marine captain. At the moment in game setup you can choose the level of your opponent. I will be playing on expert mode, and let's hop into a game so we can take a look at this interesting new initiative phase. So here's what the Regicide chessboard looks like at the moment. We have our standard white piece layout, and across the other side there are the black pieces in their normal chess positions. Now, in Regicide, your opening move is not necessarily the same one you would make in regular chess, but in this case we're going to move our queen's pawn to d4 anyway, in a standard chess opening. Note please that my chess is absolutely rubbish. I do know the basic moves and can just about figure out a checkmate with one castle and one king. However, I'm by no means anywhere near good at chess. That being said, at Regicide I fancy myself okay because the random element means I don't have to think too far ahead. So let's start off our initiative phase. Now, here's where Regicide is different to regular chess. Each of your pieces has, as you can see across the bottom, a number of abilities, some of which are greyed out, some of which are on a timer, and some of which are currently available to that piece. Now, each piece has its own unique moves, which I shall hopefully get to through the course of the game. As well as each individual piece's moves, there are a number of moves available to your side as a player. The Space Marines have slightly different player abilities. These are the Orc ones. At the moment, only the highlighted moves are available. The additional moves like Boss Pole and Get Stuck In and so forth haven't been unlocked yet. Each initiative action costs a number of initiative points, and you have 3 initiative points per turn, as represented by the 3 skulls across the bottom there. So, for example, I could spend 2 initiative points on a Squig Bomb, or 1 initiative point on You Call That a Wound. I'm going to go with Orcs, which adds a shield to a unit, allowing it to ignore the next hit that strikes it. I'm going to put that on my front unit here, because the rough rule of thumb of this is all the powers and abilities and so forth have a range of about 3 squares, and having moved my pawn up forward 2 squares, I'm currently in a range of all these assault marines. Now, one shooter boy in front of a firing squad of assault marines is generally speaking not good news for the shooter boy. However, what we're going to do next is we're going to have our shooter boy throw out a grenade. Now you can see hovered over each piece as I move my reticule, the chance of them being hit. You can friendly fire with grenades, which could have its tactical advantages in certain sections of the game, but with only a 40% chance of hitting, to be honest, the reason you throw out a grenade is just to get some early damage out in order to weak the pieces up for later damaging. I actually got pretty lucky there. I managed to hit 4 of my opposing pieces. I generally speaking expect to hit maybe 2 out of 6 caught in the blast radius of a grenade, so that's a reasonably good start. As you can see, however, I only did a tiny amount of damage to them, but not to worry, game's just starting. So next thing I want to do, I feel, having had shielded my little shooter boy here, is also have him go to ground, basically have him duck a little, make it a little bit harder for my opponents to injure me. Now, my opponent here, the Space Marines, has also decided to make a very similar action to me. However, his frag grenade, as you can see, is a little bit more powerful than mine. Okay, that's because the Space Marine frag grenade takes a couple of action points. Now it's my turn again, and so I will decide what I'm going to do next. And I feel that I am going to bring out my ever. Okay. Whoop. Where should I bring them to? Lines of fire do exist in this game, so if I was to bring my looter to this square E3, he wouldn't be able to shoot at that tactical marine. With that in mind, I don't actually think it's worth developing my looter, so instead I'm going to bring out my storm boy here.
We're gonna keep him on the run.
And just like a knight, he gets to jump, so I'll have him jump over and into the front lines. Now, whereas Space Marines have better ranged combat, Orcs do have the advantage in hand-to-hand, I feel. So I'm going to take an assault action against this Space Marine.
Easy target.
There we go. And hopefully do some damage to him. I missed, but not to worry, I was lucky with the grenade. I can be unlucky with the hand-to-hand combat. As you can see, my ranged combat with my Storm Boy here is pretty terrible, only 40% chance of hitting. Let's take a shot at him. Okay, did a nominal amount of damage there, and again, let's look at those lines of sight. This pawn here is able to attack that pawn, but this one here has his line of sight blocked by my other pawn, so we're going to shoot with this pawn here. 40% chance of hitting. We take the shot anyway because may as well give it a go.
We have them on the run.
Missed again, but not really to worry. Let's take a look at what their pieces do. So, he's bringing out his assault marine, or bishop, and he's going to take an assault action at me. Now, as you can see, assault actions tend to be a lot more powerful than the regular attacks. So, quite a significant amount more damage was done to me than would be done in a ranged attack because he's right next to me, pumping bullets into me. So that's to be expected. Now, I'm trying to figure out what to do next, and I think in order to show you the mechanics of it, what I'm going to do is
stomp 'em under our boots.
A move that in regular chess probably wouldn't make a great deal of sense, but in Regicide does kind of work. So I'm going to have my
This is a fun fight.
Storm Boy here take a regular chess move, and that unlocks an additional action available to him, the moving attack. This is available for knights on both sides and allows them to make a more damaging melee range attack than they would if they hadn't just made a move. So this action is only available after you've made a move.
This is my best chopper.
There we go. Take a shot at him, and as you can see, it's done quite significant damage to him. So with any luck we'll be able to finish him off with concentrated fire from our pawns. Let's see if that hits. Well, that's pretty much expected, but we'll take another shot and see if we can get the...
Oi, you!
in.
Eat this! Ha! The enemy has few places left to run. Away with you!
Now, pretty much as expected, getting shot in the side with a heavy bolter is hazardous to your health. And it looks like my pawn's exposed there. Now this would be pretty bad in a regular game of chess, being down a knight for no particular advantage. However, their bishop is significantly weakened, and that comes into play with a ability from the weird boy that may be employed in a little, or may not, depending on how the luck of the game goes out. Let's see now. What I'm going to do for now is going to bring out my own looter.
We are the shootiest.
As right now there is a viable target available for the looter, and that's one I'm going to take a shot at. See if I can finish him off.
Mine.
And looks like I was lucky and got the hit in that time, so we won't get to see our Weird Boy's ability quite yet. That's right though. Let's assault this here. See if we can get some more damage into him. Excellent. And then we'll see if we can get lucky and finish him off with one of these pieces. Excellent. Okay, so this is what makes Regicide significantly different to regular chess. That ability to finish off pieces that would otherwise be threatening you means that you can make maneuvers that in chess would be insane, but in Regicide are merely risky, with a varying amount of risk and reward depending on how exactly you decide to make your move. Now in this case, bringing the queen forward in Regicide is actually not the safest of maneuvers, especially if you're against Space Marines, where it can be subjected to withering fire. However, as I'm merely the orcs, I'm less able to project damage across the board, so I'm going to... let's see... yeah, I'm going to bring this pawn forward here.
We got him now, boss.
Possibly to free the bishop to move out later. Okay, I'm now going to use one of my looter special abilities, the Take Aim ability, as that allows his shots to do more damage if they hit. And then I'm going to take a snapshot at this librarian. Let's see, did we get lucky? Only fairly. Fair amount of damage for a high value piece. Obviously the high value pieces have more armor and take less damage from shots.
Forward to victory.
But their armor does slowly wear out and can't be regenerated, so if we're lucky, we should be able to finish off the queen without taking much further damage from her. Oh, that was quite a lucky grenade there. Did a fair amount of damage to me, but that also finished off all their available action points. So now what shall we do next? I feel like bringing out another shooter.
Boss, we got the upper hand.
There we go. Sorry, that's a looter, not a shooter. Okay, and now let's see. We've got quite a few injured pieces there, so we might take care of that in a bit. But for now, I'll just continue applying pressure to the queen there. And depending on how much damage I do there. Okay, that was a fair amount of damage, so I think I'll spend some time healing and protecting my looter there. He brings up his Assault Marine, though I'm not entirely sure why, and uses one of his special abilities, which is essentially one of the player-based abilities, a form of stun grenade. The swirly thing above the heads of these units means that they're unable to take their normal initiative phase actions as they are discombobulated, I suppose is the word. They're stunned, they're swervy, they're feeling poorly, and so cannot act.
The best boss ever!
Now, a move that in chess may not be entirely unreasonable would be to take that pawn with this bishop. However, that would place the bishop in amongst a large number of enemy pieces. I'm not entirely sure if that's worth it. So what I'll do instead is I will bring up my queen here. And then we'll take a few shots and see how we do. So I think I'll have my bishop take a snapshot.
This is my death gun!
See how that does. And excellent. Okay, we were very lucky here. We brought the pawn down to 50% health, which means that our weird boy here can use their special ability, which is called Extra Urti. Now this, in my opinion, is probably the best ability in the game, as what it does is allow you to kill an enemy unit automatically so long as they are below half starting wounds for a regular unit, or for the king or queen below 20% health. In fact, from my experimentation, half or below rather than below half appears to be the threshold for devastation. So let's take a look at this nice animation here.
Say hello to me, little
Kaboom! One dead pawn.
Outfought. Fall before me. Open fire! Firing on target!
As you can see, my pawn's been exposed to rather heavy enemy fire, but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure I mind that much. Let's see what we can do about this in return.
Shoot him! Then shoot him some more! Don't let you... We're flash gits, we are! Look at him run!
Now, trading your bishop for a knight isn't necessarily always the best plan in chess, but in Regicide, a looter for an assault machine isn't too bad. However, what we get to do next completely makes up for the loss of the looter. We're now sat right next to the librarian. We're going to power up the power of our shots, and we're going to fire our laser right into his back with an assault attack.
Get any closer,
and
and
if
I'll
we're
bite
lucky,
your face off!
We'll kill him dead. Unfortunately, we weren't, so we'll have another shot with our other looter. See if we can kill him off with that.
Marines advance.
And we've done a fair amount of damage.
Charge! Take that! Burn!
Now, that move there with the queen exposing himself by stepping out of check rather than having the queen take the bishop. I'm not sure if that's a problem with the AI or if that's just Regicide wanting the queen there to be able to get more shots off. However, the queen is now significantly weakened, so we're going to see what we can do about finishing it off. I think what I'd like to do is to, rather than try and directly take it, which is difficult, we'll try and expose it to fire from more accurate units. So I'm going to bring my queen across here. There we go. And then we're going to take a few shots at our enemy queen. So our shooter boy here with a snapshot has a 40% chance of hitting, and with his stick bomb has a 40% chance of hitting, so he may as well use that. So I'm going to throw our
I hope I threw the right big at
over
time.
that. And we explode the librarian. Excellent news. Okay. Now, having had exploded the librarian, you see now why this weird boy decided to move here. We've got our king in check as well, limiting the moves available to our opponent. So, what should we do next? Well, this fellow's taken his shot, but he's also exposed to a lot of enemy fire, so we're going to have him go to ground. Take some cover there. And we're also going to heal him up a little.
Where I go, victory follows.
And its king moves in, presumably to attack range. Yeah. And is going to start shooting back at our pieces. Right, what should we do in response to that? I think for now we'll just castle. For those of you unfamiliar, castling is only available when the king and the castle have not moved for the whole game. And there are no pieces in between the king and the castle. The way you do it is you move your king 2 pieces towards the castle you want to castle with, and the king and the castle will kind of swap places, so the castle will tuck in nicely next to the king there. Now, what should we do next? I think we'll just take a few shots at the enemy king. There we go.
Blast 'em!
You never know, you might get lucky. It will be quite a rare occurrence to be able to kill off the king with just a couple of shots. So what we're going to do instead is use one of our looter's unique abilities. We're going to pin the king down.
Stay for a second. We bring death.
That basically stops him from being able to take attack actions, and because the king has pretty good attacks, that's quite handy.
Your attack shall fail.
Now, that's the opposing side shielding up, which is fine for me, because that means to me that they're not attacking. I'm going to have my
Wake up, boys!
pawns
Ain't
move
away from
up
us.
to attack the exposed king, and we're just going to spend our turn shooting at him. Hopefully we'll get lucky, get some more damage in. So we're going to shoot with the weakest units first, because the shield ignores the first hit no matter how strong it is. So may as well remove the shield with a weaker shot.
Oi, you! Eat this!
Before taking a more powerful shot from our looter, it does more damage.
Always outnumbered, but never outfought.
Now, the enemy AI does look like it could do some work. Some of its maneuvers don't make a huge amount of sense.
Weapon ready!
But again, the game is in early access, so we can forgive that for now. And
We
hope
got
that
set
it's
up nowhere
improved in
for him
later
to run.
editions.
Just the way I likes it.
And again, all we're going to be doing is just firing at the king.
Dugga,
And
dugga,
if you can
dugga.
kill the king in shooty combat, it does mean that you've won the game.
Blast 'em!
So the king exposing himself to enemy fire like this is not the wisest course of actions to take. Also note, the more damage
Victory!
the king takes, the more armor he loses. The more armor he loses, the more damage he takes per shot.
Firing on target!
Now that puts the king down to, from the look of things, around 20% health. So we can have a go at
All he's gonna see is green.
bringing our queen into the action there. Okay, action phase. Our extra urti is off cooldown, so let's just throw that at the king, and victory. So, as you can see, the AI, at least at this level of difficulty, could do with perhaps some work. The game itself, however, is a very interesting variation of chess. It rewards taking risks, however it also can punish them quite severely. Bringing your king up in order to attack enemy pieces can be helpful, but it can also lead to instant doom. Hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Subhuman, and have a great day. Bye bye.